Hola familia estelar. Today we are at Qorikancha, and this place used to be a mini sun on earth. And Qori means gold, Kancha means the enclosure. So this place is a golden enclosure, and the walls were once encased in pure gold. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around, and we're going to go ahead and share the messages that we have today. Super excited. I've come here before, but I thought I would come back to bring you guys along, because last time I came I didn't have my camera with me, and it was just kind of spur of the moment. So the walls were once plated in pure gold to catch the first light of Inti, the sun god. So the message we have for today is the sun card. And as you can see in this deck, it is also the infinite pathways card. So this is infinite paths that are being illuminated to you during this time. And the sun matches it perfectly, because what is the sun? It is plasma. It's a cosmic conductor, and gold itself is also highly conducive, which is why it was almost templated when it comes to the architecture of this site, so that it could sustain a very specific frequency. So it is almost like the nervous system of the temple. It's divine light that is embedded in matter. So the sun card is a beautiful depiction when we're talking about Qorikancha. So it's solar gold made visible in a way that light can animate itself through form, and that is consciousness itself. It's this unified field of consciousness that's interacting and engaging with itself through countless manifestations of the one. And that's really what the message is today. It's knowing that Qorikancha was pretty much built on this principle that light is a language, gold is the body that carries it. So the temple is almost the body, the vessel, the vehicle that would carry, sustain, hold, and then also distribute this plasma, right? What does plasma animate in this experience or distribute? It's information. You know, it's like photons. That's what the sun emits. So this is truth. It's light. It's heat. It's an exothermic reaction. It's that consciousness is something, and I'm hearing lucidity is something that is also contagious. And that's what it feels like is going on with the sun card, because the original depiction is this baby, and it's riding just nude on the horse. And it talks about coming back into alignment with your core essence, right? Where you kind of strip back this physical vessel that you're temporarily experiencing life through, and remembering yourself as the timeless consciousness that's experiencing life on earth, utilizing this very specific vehicle. So the walls were not static. They were membranes of consciousness, almost a 𝓤𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓽 that was an interface between realms. So it would allow you to engage with yourself existing everywhere all at once. And here I'm about to show you where the sun disk used to be. This is actually quite an exciting story, but when the empire fell, the priests, right, the last Inca priest, went to Lake Titicaca and actually threw the sun disk at the bottom of the lake, but not to bury it. It was to actually protect the light for a new age, because it was the end of an old age and the beginning of a new one. So it does talk about almost coming into this revolution. It almost reminds you of a solar return, when certain things are illuminated about, you know, the soul's path and also the collective consciousness. So that's the essence of the sun card. It's that your radiance cannot be taken. It's only concealed until the right era, until the right time, right? Until it's time for something to be able to be distributed and passed to those around you. So let me show you where the sun disk used to be. It used to be right here. This huge sun disk. Well, I guess the historical context is that when the Spaniards were taking over, they stripped all of these walls from this golden material, right? And what they ended up doing was melting it all. So when they heard that they were coming, they knew that they had to hide the sun disk. Otherwise, who knew what would have happened? Because again, they believed that it held the essence of Inti, the sun god, source energy. So yeah, that would come with its own set of consequences or repercussions. Also, another interesting thing is that Qorikancha was not just one temple, it was almost this constellation, a living galaxy of sanctuaries, where they had the sun, the moon, Venus, rainbow, and the lightning, which we're going to go to, and only some of them still stand today. These all aligned with the solstices, the equinox, and it's also said to align with Orion's belt. But the deeper meaning is that these deities were expressions of the same unified field of consciousness that was dancing with itself through infinite countless life forms to infinite manifestations of the one. So different faces of one light, different frequencies of the one source, and different elements that would dance with themselves. So everything is one field of light playing with itself through different forms. And this isn't just the external architecture when we're talking about this site, it's the architecture of your own being. So these shrines actually reflect those same forces inside of you. We talk about the inner sun, which is like your willpower, your inner moon, which is all to do with your intuition, Venus, which is about creation, lightning, which is almost Uranus energy, it is this awakening, and then the rainbow temple, which would be about the integration, it's the bridge between the heavens and the earth, the higher and the lower realms. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys inside of this one because it seems to be pretty quiet right now. Now we're in the Plasma Temple, and this was known as the interface between realms, and this doorway here once aligned with the solstices and equinox, and the lightning would be what the Mayans called the snake that would come to the ground. And the light would distribute through here, it would disperse, and it said that it would holographically, energetically project into the simulation Punko, which is the South American version of Horus, which is super interesting. So it talks about, again, Christ consciousness and a fractal of awareness in the system that's totally conscious of itself. And each one of these windows would be actually filled with golden statues of Poncho. And again, the whole walls were just being encased with gold. So it said that here the sun spirit would enter through the temple, and the Incas saw stone as something that was alive. Every realm was almost like this living membrane that again would just interact with itself. So precise, the interlocking stones, not even like a nail can go through, not even a hair can fit through. And here we have our galaxy. This is Draco's constellation, which is the constellation above our universe. So right here was known as a collective activation point, where it really would be this interface between realms of the physical and the spiritual, the matter and not non-matter, right? It would be the activation point and interface between ether and matter. So this is where plasma life forms that are part of a counterpart Earth would come and engage with you in your third dimensional experience, and they could be manifested through all different kind of, archetypes, deities, beings, right? So here it was known as Poncho, which was also a representation of Christ consciousness. It was a representation of the physical and the non-physical coming together in that alchemical marriage. So the masculine and the feminine coming together. That would lead to mastery over matter, mastery in how you would engage with matter and all other beings occupying these higher dimensional fields that you're also coexisting in this third dimensional experience with. But this is where the veil would become very, very thin, because you would essentially attune into a higher octave of yourself, which would allow you to unveil a certain layer of reality and really, again, see through the veil. That's what it is. It's where the human condition lifts, and you're able to look at life through the lens of the soul. So it really would be almost like a third eye activation point, because it's your multi-sensory perception system where you'd be able to perceive what's going on in dimensions beyond what it is that the human eyes can look at. So it'd be, again, plasma, almost higher bandwidths or frequency light that would take shape and form into these different kind of manifestations and would pass forth messages, right? So it's almost like the messages that you're sending yourself through other life forms of you. That's how I'd say it. It's actually right here that I'm going to read to you the Infinite Path card and the Sun card in this deck. So Infinite Path in this deck basically talks about joy, success, good chances. Explosions of bright light surround you. You get caught up in the swells of the color and emotion flooding your being. This feels like the happiness, but it looks different. You start noticing beauty in everything around you and the infinite pathways for your future life. You feel the magic of the stars and the warmth of the sun and the illumination of the moon fill you. It's now that you realize your recent tumultuous journey was only part of a new becoming, of becoming a new being. So this is like a rebirth that's happening for you essentially during this time as well. So Infinite Pathways is an extremely positive card to pull in a reading. It speaks to the synchronicity within yourself and the willingness to change what asks to be changed in your life. Because again, change isn't going to hurt. It's the resistance to change that hurts. This is where the soul really begins to lead you in the flesh, and that integration takes place, right? Because what's still standing is the Lightning Temple and the Rainbow Temple as well. So it is an awakening when it comes to what it is that you're actually grounding into this experience. So all it asks of you is to radiate positivity, and it will bring abundance of good things, unlocking pathways only thought to exist in dreams. So especially with, Neptune and Pisces, it's really a time where what is physical, Neptune, is able to be grounded into the third dimension, is what it is that you choose to download into a third dimensional experience. The action that you take that is aligned with the soul in the present moment leads to the rapid unfoldment of your path, right? It's like an accelerated, sequence of events that begins to unfold, and it leads to you sending ripples down the space and time continuum that you'll later be able to intersect with. So something that you're doing now, you're being called to do now on a soul level, is leading to you being able to accelerate very, very rapidly in the near future. That's also how I'm seeing it. It's almost like a portal that you're creating for yourself, where you're grounding and anchoring the future into the present moment through a line action that you're taking in the now, right? So yeah, that's the message today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I guess the last thing to mention is that the gold may be gone, right, from this site, but the light still remains within you. The truth still remains in regards to what the true nature of this construct really, really is. And yeah, it's beautiful, right? It's like spirit of ascension with a condor. The serpent is the wisdom that you've cultivated from these inner worlds, and then the puma is power, guardianship of the material realm. And that's what's creating the Trinity, right? That's what's creating that Christ consciousness essence. And it's allowing you to embody and unite the physical and non-physical aspects of yourself. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let you take a closer look, and then we are going to go, because I'm going to take you to another site after this. Your light cannot be melted, taken, or erased. It lives inside of the bones the same way that gold once lived within these walls. So Qorikancha basically teaches you that you're a conductor of divine light, and it's how that, I'm hearing, refracts, and projects from your eternal state of being. It reminds you of the quote of life is not coming at you, it's coming from you. So you're holding this solar consciousness within you, and what feels like it was stripped in regards to, you know, memory. I'm seeing when you, again, incarnate into this dense plane, it's easy to fall asleep into that human amnesia, but you've awoken within this construct and you've returned back to your starry origins, right? You've been able to remember that. And that's what's returning internally. The illumination is your nature. Your part of your nature is to be able to illuminate this truth, to begin to embody this truth and to rise again, exactly like the temple has done. So yeah, even without the gold plates, the sun still rises. These sites still align with the equinoxes, with the solstice, with the feminine, with the masculine, and these stones are a depiction of what also lives within you. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to love and leave you right there. I really hope that you enjoyed this field trip, as many of you call it. And yeah, I'm really glad that I got to bring you here today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Spirit if you guys are looking for high quality AAA grade jewelry. We have 2 discount codes for that down below as well. And until next time, bye. So you can see the condor, the puma, and then the snake.